there will be no preambles. The subject matter today is very warm, if not actually hot. The question today we are addressing is very simple. Will the law and prayer be able to defeat mighty Sodom? Tuli ku barometer akasa meme nga omulama gwa leero tetujja kumalira biseera. Amateeka agabagibwa n'okwazinalira Mukama mu ssaala binaawangula ebisiyaga. To debate that very, very important subject, I brought in two prominent crusaders. One is the Honorable David Bahati, who was elected by the people of Ndorwa West to represent them in Parliament. And he is also the person who handles the money of the NRM caucus in Parliament, which is good news for me who is seated near him, but don't interfere. That is now the legal stronghold of the debate. Now, when we go spiritual, we have none other than the notoriously Christian Pastor Ssempa. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
So, the subject matter is already introduced, and we are going to launch into it. But what are we really up to? You've been following these debates. Honorable Bahati, I was checking the internet. When you Google David Bahati, he's in Wikipedia now. And it's very brief, but it's about his crusade against homosexuals. Let me say this very clearly. I don't buy the term gay. Because gay looks like happiness, and I think these are homosexuals.
Sodomites, homosexuals. There's
so
the
business of
gayism,
orientation and other things. I'm sorry, I'm a bit hostile to this. But
you should not apologize. The real language is sodomy.
The point is, I think in a country like ours, they are beginning to have rights. And that's why we are here today. There's the legal aspect, there's the godly aspect, and in between I'm the unfortunate umpire. I don't like it, but there you are. Of interest is, as you've been noticing, incidentally, I'm happily married to Victoria Owana.
Oh.
Yes, and we are born again Christians, and certainly we are not gay. And we don't intend to be. And we have children. But as I was Googling, I came across images of outstanding gay personalities. I was reading the one who sang for Diana. Elton John. And Elton John and his husband are looking for a child in Africa. Sir Elton John and his husband.
And he has a foundation in Uganda.
Already?
The Elton John Foundation. Go ahead, get a mass.
So he's looking for a child. Now, while other people use the God-given opportunities to procreate through sexual intercourse, others recruit. The opposite of giving birth in this case is recruitment.
That's right.
Because if homosexuality was the normal way of doing things, they would all have died out because they wouldn't produce other homosexuals.
Exactly.
So I can see their reasons for that is Sir John with his husband.
Chichi? Laba obugwagwa.
John in a bawe.
They are very happy. Oyo wasekerawo obulumi bwaliko.
Oyagala kusaasira asanyuka.
Awo tewali ssanyu laba yenna. Omusajja obudde atya n'omusajja munne. Ate tugenda kuwa bwino kiki ekibeerawo ku basiyazi. Kubanga bwe bakusiyaga okumala ebbanga akakasiba stapuli esiba gyoyitika eri ng'ogenda okweyamba eyo nooneka kati abasajja abo balabirawo bambadde amasuuti niye bambadde nappi.
Omanyi gwe Pastor Ssempa kyotamanyi nti waliwo ebintu ebya sitaani ebinyuma okimanyi naye olinga akyerabidde. Nze namala emyaka 25 nga nnyo omwenge nesigala era byandwaza naye byali bimpoomera mukundwaza era byali bimpoomera kati n'oyo gw'osaasira mulwadde naye musanyufu. naye kangende wa Honorable Bahati. Honorable Bahati, you are the legislator who has brought actually this bill has your name appended to it.
Yes, it's a private member's bill.
The Bahati Kira bill. Yes, actually the most important aspect of it is that they say you have proposed to kill these people.
Yes.
If I read from text, Ugandan MP urges death for gay sex. A Ugandan MP has proposed creating an offence of aggravated homosexuality to be punished by death. Then say, ruling party MP David Bahati wants the death penalty for those having gay sex with disabled people under 18s or when they are accused is HIV positive. Homosexual acts are already illegal, but the anti-homosexuality bill proposes new offences and urges the toughening of existing penalties. How far do you expect to go with this?
Well,
we are told there are already 500,000 gays in Uganda.
Who says?
Where they get these figures, I'm going to ask you as a lawyer and you as a priest. But I happen to know that the National Bureau of Statistics has not conducted a census on sex of that nature, habits. Tell me, how do you expect to defeat the very, very powerful gay lobby? You might be minimizing it as of now. Do you think you are going to drive that thing through Parliament? That one you may do. I hear these papers say the NRM is very much anti-gay as a party, but I am waiting to see how you will enforce that law out there.
Yeah, I think there are important reasons why laws are made, and one of them is for preventive measures. The other one is to make sure that in case somebody commits a crime, then there is a legal framework to make sure that that one happens. But I think it's important also to note that the bill has been presented to Parliament for first reading. It is now with the Committee of Presidential Affairs, and all stakeholders are welcome in having their input into this bill.
Do stakeholders include the homosexuals?
Well, it's something that one wouldn't wish to see a homo at Parliament specifying that. And
say that again?
It's something that one wouldn't wish to see that. But if they are out there and they want to come to Parliament to testify, this is an opportunity for them to have an input in this law. But why are we moving this law? Because we know that homosexuality is a creeping evil in our society. That is for sure. It has come. We cannot hide ourselves from attacking this one. The other one is that in Uganda, the constitution bars same-sex marriage. The Penal Code Act talks about unnatural behavior, where homosexuality one would assume that it is. But unnatural behavior is so ambiguous that it cannot really catch these people, the homosexuals. That's why we are presenting a comprehensive bill to tackle this creeping evil in our society. Pastor Ssempa was talking in his own language, Luganda, the dangers of homosexuality. One of them, actually research has it, that if you are a homosexual, you reduce your life by 20 years. Can you imagine reducing your life by 20 years because of that behavior? Also, the second part is that if you are a homosexual, you are prone to catching HIV/AIDS 3 times more than an ordinary person. This is horrible. We cannot see this.
Don't you
I
allow
also
them
one
to
of
ask you, so what?
One of the reasons that I'm moving this, I cannot imagine. By the way, Uganda is not, we shouldn't be a copyright for other countries. Many people have argued, they have come out to say that America is reversing this. Britain is reversing this. Uganda comes in to provide leadership. Uganda comes in to provide leadership. It doesn't mean that something which is good for America should be good for us. Uganda is a country with its own values, with its own, with its own rules.
And that's why
yes.
Are you pretending now that you are going to show the Americans leadership when you are broke as you are? There's a Mzungu who came here and even changed the whole sub-counties' names, people's names.
I know that.
For some
I know that.
What are you going to teach the Americans which they don't? You are
the message.
Morals in
the message we are sending is simple.
You are joking.
The message we are sending is simple. That Ugandans will never exchange their dignity for money. If getting money from America or Britain means or requires support homosexuality, they would rather go to hell with their money.
Pastor Ssempa, you've been itching to take a shot. I have just shown you pictures of a man of God. You may not like that.
I don't think.
But he has a huge flock in Hampshire somewhere. That man is a bishop, happily married to some other man with a flock, with money. Honorable Bahati is here very confidently saying they will not allow. But maybe he has some money. For those who don't have, they will not say they have allowed, but they will allow. I have seen a pattern in this country of people saying one thing up front and saying another thing up there. What are your prayers going to do with this powerful habit that has come here? Prayers. I'm addressing this to you as a man of God.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to pray for... I'm waiting to see. Tell us.
Now, my brother, first greetings to all viewers and fellow Ugandans, East Africans. And the crisis we are facing as a country, and I'm glad Honorable Bahati has come forward, cannot be minimized. And I'm glad our presenter, you've shown it. It is a strong opposition. It is a strong weapon of the enemy. This issue of sodomy. However, before we go and discuss homosexuality, gayism, I want to say, what is homosexuality? Homosexuality and sodomy is where a man changes the use of natural order of a woman and abandons a woman for sexual and reproductive experience and turns on another man and mounts on him, uses his excretory organs as reproductive organs, which were not created to do so. The inflicted damage as a result of that consequently hinders the excretory functions that were designed by God. Kati waliwo kye tuyita ekibi ekimenya amateeka. Waliwo ekibi ekimenya amateeka asatu. Nga kino ekibi ky'ekisiyaga. Kibi ky'ekisiyaga kimenya etteeka ery'obutonde Mukama lye yateekawo. Erigamba nti nno ekisajja kigenda kikazi. Sodom breaks the natural law of God that he established that says male goes with female. Number two, Sodom breaks the law of God because God established that man shall marry woman. That is why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So when you sodomize, you are breaking again, secondly, the law of God. Thirdly, you are breaking the law of the land, our culture. Whether Africans or whoever, we have a strong tradition that we have built by our fathers. They have handed this down to us as a result of many years. They have learned that a man cannot marry another man. So the reality is sodomy is a crime that breaks 3 laws. Coming to the question that you've asked, that is a man and another man, and a woman turning to another woman, where one woman pretends that she's a man and begins to take advantage of another woman, doing inconvenient things. The Bible calls them inconvenient.
Pastor Ssempa, inconvenient for who? Because for you, you are sympathizing with the people who are enjoying themselves.
Oh,
yes. Inconvenient for who? Have you heard them complaining?
Yes.
Wait.
I have worked as a social worker, but now I need you to understand, when you are talking about human rights, you see, for us as Africans, starting with you and me, people of Africa, we don't define human rights on the basis of the individual. We define human rights on the basis of the community. That is why for the Eurocentric people, others may say, I am because I am. But the African says, I am because we are. Therefore, when you produce a child in Africa, it is not an individual's child, it is our child. When there is a death, you have not lost, we have all lost someone. When you marry, we have married. We exist, whether in clans or tribes, we are a community. So if one of us decides to do something as evil in the privacy of their bedroom, it affects all of us. By the way, for me to understand this issue of sodomy, many of you don't understand. How can a man leave a beautiful woman? You find, like, look at those men there. They have access to beautiful women. I mean, Elton John.
Now, Pastor Ssempa, let me give you
and goes to an ugly man and turns on him, a fellow man.
Let me give you an answer.
Echo chitambo, that is what I call echo. Echo njachikubulia mu Luganda, simanyi nchikubulia mu Luzungu. That is a chitambo. That is what causes a man to jump out of his head and go and unburies a dead body, cuts it down, begins to eat it. It is a sickness of the mind.
Is that why you are crusading as a priest against that? Because you think they are sick?
I want, very much so. I want to make sure. Some of them are confused because of money. Some of them are confused because of popular people like Elton John are telling them it is a cool thing. Some of them are doing it because they were raped or violated when they were young. There is various reasons. But when you get into it, your head gets demented. Demented. Just think of where poo goes. And somebody now begins to use that as an area for sexual activity.
We are now looking at a country that is speaking about rights and the law.
Yeah, but first of all, we need to really understand that in our country, in Uganda, homosexuality is not recognized as a right. And I think the bill that I'm moving, together with my co-sponsor, Honorable Benson Obogwar from Moroto Municipality, is really capturing the aspirations and the values of Ugandans. There has been now, since we moved it last week, a sea of attack from international Amnesty International, World Watch. I understand that there are a number of civil society groups which are coming out tomorrow to issue a statement. Among them, they are mothers. Can you imagine? Mothers defending
sodomy.
When they are aware that people, people who are supporting this evil are using money to recruit children in schools, luring them into this act. You know, luring their children into this act. You come out to defend them. It's a shame.
Pardon me a moment.
It's a shame. Now, the issue of death, I wanted to clarify on the issue of death.
Let me give you this dose. Where these things pass through your defenses is, for example, something like this. The Member of Parliament for Kampala Central, Elias Lukwago, Democratic Party, has said anti-gay laws are not necessary in Uganda. Lukwago is also the legal advisor of the DP.
Oh,
He says the proposed law on homosexuality is not needed because there are many other laws the central government can use to regulate and curb the vice. Lukwago, who is also Uganda's Shadow Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, advises his fellow MPs to concentrate on solving the rift between the Buganda Kingdom and the central government instead of debating homosexuality.
But you see,
Now, that is where
let
we
me
start.
let me first correct this. Honorable Elias Lukwago is a respected lawyer.
I do respect him.
This is a time for us to come out and show our sides. You know, they have been trying to use the word death. I also understand that now people have started seeking for asylum in other countries.
Bahati's killer
because-
bill.
Yeah, this is not the case. The clause that we are bringing in is about aggravated homosexuality, where a person,
Let me see those bishops again. Go on, sir.
where a person lures a kid below
Rapes.
18 years, or a guardian rapes a kid below 18 years, or a person who is disabled below 18 years. This is where we are suggesting that a person should face this. And this is consistent with other laws like the Defilement Act, which has already been passed. So, 2 points. One, Honorable Kwago cannot be in the middle on this matter. He's either for them or he's against them.
let me jump
The other
here.
the other one is that the death we are talking about is about aggravated homosexuality, which has to do with minors, guardians luring young people into homosexuality.
Okay.
I want to jump in here. Many people are confused about this situation. For too long, the young boys in the country have not been protected equally in front of the law. This very same law is existing that protects girls against aggravated defilement.
Okay.
You are subject to the same punishment if you do the same thing to a girl. But for too long, police has failed to protect the rights of boys who are violated. What we are asking for within this bill, which Honorable Member of Parliament Nora West has proposed and we support, is that both boys and girls must expect the same protection in front of the law.
Incidentally, are you working together with
We are working as partners.
yeah.
This is where politicians and prayer people work together. Now, I want to warn any politician, including Elias Lukwago, or any other person, that if they dare to come and support homosexuality, they are committing political suicide. We have fought this battle. We don't fight this battle because we are fearful. We fight even if Obama came and stood down and begged me. Huh?
Now that you have spoken of Obama,
I want to tell you,
there is a lobby which is going to report, first of all, both of you.
I don't care.
Wait a bit. Why are you fearing?
No, I'm not fearing. I want to finish my point.
They will not allow you to go to the States.
Let me finish this point.
Wait.
The dignity that Honorable shared here, that for us, we must have certain basic intrinsic values that we cannot negotiate about. That one is a non-negotiable. That for us, a man marrying another man is evil taboo. You know, I remember a woman in Kabale heard that there was this thing called homosexuality. She thought, I can't say it in Nyankore. She says that is why the rains have refused to fall. Okay, because you see, it is when homosexuality comes into a community and you keep quiet. This is what caused the death of Sodom and Gomorrah. What will you pay me? Now, of course, many of you have been fighting for the rights of the victims. Many of you know that we were dragged before the police when we were helping victims, young boys. But it is a history, this report that you've covered. There's a history of chronic failure. Sometimes law enforcement, sometimes investigative arms on protecting boys. What we are looking for is that the boy child in our country must receive equal protection before the law as the girl child. And all these people making noise, they are not sensitized on gender balanced. And those women who are saying, no, they are going to come out tomorrow, all we have to show for them is that this is the same law protecting girls. We are equating it to protect boys.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to call a break because Pastor is about to get a homosexual and tear him.
No, I'm preaching to them to get to Jesus.
Amen.
But anyone confusing us that because Obama or this Bishop Gini, Archbishop Canterbury, ekyo kiwandi tetujja kukkiriza wano wa.
Okay.
Wa.
Now,
Munsi yafe.
why I fear?
Sure.
Why?
Ah,
Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm an accountant.
I like accountants.
Yes.
Now, I always see things sneaking in through legal loopholes. Pastor and Honorable, I'll give you an example. There's an advert which is running on TV. It shows a very irresponsible man who wakes up very late in the morning as a matter of routine, in fact has the right. And together with his son, who is I think in primary school, they board their vehicle, then drive off. As they are driving off, the son, very small kid, asks his father, "Daddy, will they beat you also for coming late at your office?" Then the father replies, "No, I'm not an animal to be beaten." Then the boy asks, "Then why do they beat me when I'm late?" Now, I'm looking at a situation where the parent and his son have agreed to come late as a right. And then in addition, nothing will be done to them for the offense they have committed. You are legislating against homosexuality. I am seeing a sneaking move to bring it into an acceptable level before we get another law that will say, if people are consenting, I won't allow you to respond until after. This is Barometer Akasa Meme, your usual ancient host, Tony Geoffrey Owana, and the subject matter is before you on the screen. Is prayer and law going to defeat mighty Sodom? Okusaba obusabi Mukama n'okuyisa amateeka binaamalawo ebisiyaga. And on board is Pastor Ssempa and Honorable Bahati to discuss the matter. When we went into break, Pastor Ssempa was saying that the time has come, and that's what also Honorable Bahati said. There will be no sitting on the wall. When it comes to a physical referendum, you'll have to make a choice. There will be no middle ground. The Bible calls it a time to separate the goats from the sheep. Are you going to be a goat, a sheep, or one of those? Honorable Bahati, there was something itching you which you wanted to put across. Then I said, stop there.
One, I think it is important once again to let people know that the bill is under Parliament, it's under the committee, and the chairperson of the Committee of Presidential Affairs, Gerard Dimenya, and the team will be inviting different stakeholders to come and have their input. The bill looks at aggravated homosexuality, which you have already explained. People engaging in acts of homosexuality with kids below 18 years. It is also looking at the promotion. We know there has been a lot of promotion of homosexuality. Looks at brothels, places where homosexuals and the act of homosexuality can be traded, and we are banning. We are trying to stop this. And by the way, it also looks at issues of committing our country into protocols with other countries across the world which promote homosexuality. We are saying our country should not do that. This bill captures the inspiration of Ugandans. Ugandans take it that homosexuality is not a right, and this is what we are looking at. Also, it takes into consideration the values. Ugandans value their culture, the tradition of family, that a man and woman get their best outcome out of their family when actually they allow their father, their mother to be leaders in the home. You know, this is what we are after. This bill is also aware that America is taking a different direction. Britain has taken a different direction. We can't just leave the world like this. There must be leadership, and Uganda is providing leadership. Also, it's not for only this generation. It's for generations yet to come. I cannot imagine a country like Uganda. I can't imagine being invited to a wedding for John getting married to David. I cannot imagine that. We are not
to his husband David.
And we cannot accept that in our country.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yes. For me, I think first I must apologize to the public.
What have you done?
That they have been deliberately kept ignorant.
By you?
By aspects of the media. There is a lot of ignorance as to what homosexuality is, as to what actually is happening. For example, France last year decided to make a move at the UN that would compel all countries to embrace homosexuality and break any laws. And that move is at the UN. About 88 countries have come on. But a major block of Arab countries, Christian countries, African countries have said no. When Bush was in, America said no. When Obama came in, Obama quickly sold in supporting homosexuality. Now, some of you say because Obama is a black man, everything he does is good. We've had black men who have done the wrong thing.
Others are beginning to say he's not.
Now, for us, we need to know whether you need. It's a big issue. Two, it is there's a lot of money because homosexuals don't have families, and there is a lot of recruitment. It is, and their European and American governments have put money into this thing as a human rights. A lot of bribery is taking place. And I want you to notice both community leaders, NGO, lawyers are being bribed to come, lecturers are being bribed to come, scholarships are being given for promoting of sodomy. I want all the people first to pray. Number two, to watch those people who are coming out to support homosexuality. Make sure these people are not in a position to wrongly mislead our country. And it is going to be a battle. They are going to threaten. They are going to threaten. We are going to cut aid. They are going to threaten. We cut. But I want to say, by the way, God is good, because before we discovered the oil, we were vulnerable to this. We're going to take away your oil. But now, God has given us more than 12 billion barrels of oil. We are now also an oil tycoon state. We can start giving aid to these countries. So we cannot tetusobola kugamba nno olw'okuba tuli bwavu. Mukama atuwadde eggwanga erisinga obulungi, atuwadde oil. Kati oil naffe tugenda kubeera batyage, era buli muntu yenna akutiisatiisa. Anyone who make you we are going to take away oil, take away your money. God who gave us all this wealth and this country can take it away if we don't obey him. That is why the motto of our country, the motto of our nation is for God and my country.
Pastor, if I can come in here.
Yes.
So when the Archbishop of Uganda,
Henry
Lukolombi said no to anti-homosexuality, and we want to thank him. We want to thank the Catholic Church. We want to thank the Muslim community for standing up on this issue. When he said no to homosexuality, people were afraid that money was going to come down. We have now evidence from the Church of Uganda that the moment he said no to homosexuality, actually donations from Western Uganda multiplied by 3.
For the Western churches.
Multiplied by 3. So there is no cause for alarm that the donation, the support from the Western country will reduce because we have not supported homosexuals. No, that's not true. There are people in the Western world who don't agree with homosexuals.
Right. There's a gentleman, Nasa Sebagalati Muyenga, agamba nti nebwe munakola mutya okujjako okusomesa abantu kati awali naawe nti evils eziri mu kintu kino abantu bangi tebannazirengera bulungi balabanga mwabagala okubafiiriza no opportunity. So yes, so okusomesa kuno omanyiza ebyokusomesa nabikoowa naye oluusi wabaawo satanne nga waliwo areas nga zaagala mass education. Nzisikyakiriza kusomesa abantu kusima buyu kubanga ne bajjajja baffe baabusima.
But I think the truth is Honorable Nsaba Buturo has spoken on this issue.
He didn't hear it.
Yeah, I don't think this one.
And Honorable Nsaba Buturo and the Minister of Ethics and Integrity, they are with us. They support this bill.
Very much.
They have done all it can, all they can.
Pane mwebale nnyo.
Ani ono?
nze Kibirige Harriet. Si kyangu kugamba nti muntu omu n'omunenya nti alwanyisa ebisiyaga. Muze gwajja mubi ffenna tulina okukwatira wamu tugulwanyise. Muze mubi nnyo nnyo. Ate n'abaana baffe bali mu bulabe bw'amaanyi nnyo. N'olwekyo nve mpawagira bonna abagamba nti tulwanyise omuze guno mubi ddala. Naye tetuyinza kubuleminga muntu omu nti yabikkiriza. No, bibaddewo from Bible times era ne Katonda yabonereza n'ensi n'agizikiriza Sodomu ne Gomora lwa bisiyaga.
Thank you very much.
Mwebale nnyo.
Mukama akwongere omukisa. Barometer, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yebale kose.
Kale muna.
Balamusizzaawo naleba ne pastor. Kati nze okuteesa kwange mbadde ngamba.
Ani ateesa?
Ndamuyita Honest. Kati nze mbadde ngamba mu tteeka erikolebwa. Bateekemu akawayiro nti omuntu akwatibwa ng'alya ebisiyaga. Akibwe kuba n'ebitooke ensuku ezinyirira. Ebitooke bye balaba nti tebijja kussa nkota nnungi babitemamu balekamu ebinasa nkota entuufu. Tosanga ng'olusuku lusanyusa.
Ano bwe toyagala empinga bwe yadde ateesa nti abakola ebisiyaga ku bantu abalema n'abaana abato gwe oyagala bonna babatte busi.
Singa okwatibwa mu kikolwa.
Ate gw'oli mukambwe muzibu. There's someone who is worse than you.
No. Abantu bakambwe, abantu bano omuddugavu, omwete ekisiyaga.
Kulya South.
Omulamwa guli gugamba nti amateeka n'okusaba kusobola okujjawo ebisiyaga. Nze ndaba nti amateeka n'okusaba tekusobola kujjawo ebisiyaga. Kuleka okusomesa olusomesa abantu ekibi ekiri mu bisiyaga. Olw'ensonga nti oyinza okugamba amateeka mazibu nnyo, oyinza oteekawo etteeka kati mu paalamenti waliyo abantu bangi abatunuulidde, abamu bagoberera ebisiyaga kyo bwe kiri kuba ne abantu abamu bakkiriziganya n'ebisiyaga. Ekyo kyo kituufu.
Genda mu maaso.
Kakati bw'ogamba nti nno amateeka kati bwebagamba oteekawo etteeka nti nno bateekewo nti ebisiyaga tubijjewo, bayinza okukola etteeka ne bakulaga nti nno bo babyagala bibeerewo, kati oba onookola oti?
Sikiraba.
Olaba oba osigadde mu bbanga abantu bo badde weesize kuba abakiise bayitirivu obungi bonna bayinza ngaoyo bwagambye nti nno olina ebbaluwa gye basomye awo eya member of parliament gyeyakoze eki yagambye nti ekyo basooke bakiveeko waliwo issues ezibandibadde batunuulidde ng'obwakabaka kitegeeza nti ekyo ekintu tebakitutte kuba bo bamanyi nti waliyo abajja okkiwagira. Kakati nze kyendaba ekikulu kyandibadde nti tusomese abantu ekibi ekiri mu bisiyaga.
Weebale nnyo.
Kubanga ne Katonda ne mu Bayibuli egamba nti bazikiriza nsi, kitegeeza nti kyamala kubalema okujjawo ye Katonda naga nti akikole ki kagizikirize. Nze yebadde
neyanziza oyayagala kusomesa naye simanyi oba abantu banafaayo nga bali free okusomesa bakole ebintu byabwe.
Yeah, but Tony, I think it's important we note this point that making a law is one step in the right direction.
Right.
We also expect other stakeholders, like they are doing, the churches, the civil society,
education,
to continue educating, also to look at issues of counseling of the victims.
By the way,
this is what we are looking at. But I think it's important to have a law in place. You imagine an NGO started in Uganda purposely to promote homosexuality. We're educating, stop that. You need a legal framework to say if you are got promoting homosexuality, then you can be deregistered.
Webale kuweereza mukama wange.
Kalisimu.
Nange bampise Rashidi Kasagga nga ndi wano Bina Mutungo. Kakati abaami abo mbeebazizza. Naye nze nange waliwo omwami yayogedde ku tteeka ery'okutta omuntu akwatibwa ng'alidde ekisiyaga. Nze nange Kasagga Rashidi ndi omu ku abo awagira nti bateekewo etteeka ekkakanya amateeka ga wano
naye Kasagga ku bantu bonna abayisa bannaabwe obubi babba ssente z'abannaabwe bakola gye musaze baabo ebisiyaga bye baba bajjira
bateekewo etteeka nti singa bakwata ojja kukolebwako naye kati etteeka eryo wano amateeka bwe bagateekawo tegakwata nnyo bantu banene ate ng'amateeka ago ebisiyaga bino abantu abasinga okubireeta wano banene ng'omwami bw'agambye nti mu paalamenti kati ne mu paalamenti mulimu ababiwagira bantu banene be babireeta ffe abowansi tetusobola baleeta bo be bajja eno mufe abowansi tuli baavu tetulina ku ssente kati w'omutima omutono nakolaki nakkiriza kati batekewo etteeka nti olukwata tewali kunyigira muntu ku liiso oba kalabba ayabaaso yakoze eki oyo agenze era nze kugamba bannaddiini abo abalwanyisa ebisiyaga mbasanyukira nnyo bagende mu maaso ne ba MP abakkiriziganya naffe abantu naye waliwo era omwami gwe mbadde njogera naye kawungeezi awo n'agamba mbwa tekyetaaga bisiyaga kubigaana abantu singa baali tebabibagaana era tebandibiridde bwekyaleeta ekyo okubipromotinga kubibagaana nemugamba negga singa tubaleka ate bajja bbirira ddala ye nga alinganga supportinga nti tubaleke anaaba tayagala alekeyo anaaba ayagala alye kati ye abanga apromotinga naye tulina ekyo ekintu kigenderako ennyo wano kijja kwonoona amasomero mangi gwonoona era nze njagala ekintu ekyo bakirwanyise batekewo etteeka ekkakali nnyo erikwata ku bantu abo Rashid Kasagga wane bina
shukran
amina
Hono these weren't really questions. I didn't get any questions. It was people were voicing their own.
And I think really this is a clear justification for the need for a legislation. This piece of legislation is a good one. You can see that many people want it in place. But as we said, it's a first step. There are so many other things that can be done to fight this creeping evil in our society.
Creeping is the word.
Sebo.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, I got a phone call from a young boy who was crying on the phone because his headmaster would take him to his place and he would feed him some kind of chloroform. And the boy would be sodomized. Aggravated. And he would wake up and find blood in his, excretory area. But he wasn't sure until he confronted the man. But the man is a headmaster of a school. So the boy told the parents. The parents could not believe that such a big, nice-looking man could do that. Then the boy began falling sick in that excretory area. He get diseases. He had to go and get treated. Then instead of really dealing, when the boy says, I need help, the man admitted finally that yes, he had done it to the boy. But the parents told the boy, be quiet, don't say anything. So the boy, even right now as I speak, is looking for help. He's looking for treatment. He's looking for assist. He went to the police. The police did not help him. Now he called me and told me, Pastor, the driver of that man, whenever he finds me, he wants to run me down and kill me. And the man has told me, you boy, I have done this to many other boys. They have not come against me like you have. I will kill you. Big men and big women, those with a lot of money to intimidate, to use different weapons, are bulldozing us and continue to rape and freely molest young boys. Now, there is two kinds of people. There are those who will keep quiet, but there are those who will stand. And this hour is an hour for Ugandans to stand on behalf of our children and say no. Now, one thing you can do, prayers are important, but if you do not speak loudly to your member of parliament, this law will not pass. You are going to find a lot of phone calls from this. Njagala babuliramu abawuliriza temujja gamba bugambe no teka ligenda kuliyitamu. Olutalo ruli ku kisiyaga tosobola dubalayo. Lunene kubanga abanene abali wano mu kibuga abali ebisiyaga balinga abasaddaaka n'abaana gye bali bazibu okusigukulayo. Ekyokubiri bayina bakwano baabwe mu nsi yonna abekwese mu United Nations, abekwese mu America, abekwese Canada. Waliwo minister wa ambassador wa Canada yajja myaka 2 emabega najja n'atuvuma timwe bannayuganda muli basiru. Lwaki mbeera n'etteeka erikugira ebisiyaga mu abantu mbaleke bali ebisiyaga n'atuvuma katono mu kuba oluyi kyamulaba ojja otya n'ovuma ffe Kati ngamba buli muntu yenna aliye yawuliriza. Ono member waffe wa parliament bamukubira amasimu okumutiisatiisa, baagala mutta, baagala mukola ki. Kati nga nange mujjukira poliisi yatusikawo n'etutwala eri, batuguddeko omusango mbutu twogera ku Kayanja. Ekintu ekitali kituufu n'akatono, era ripooti mugirabye mu mawulire. Kati njagala omanyi nti abanene bwe babeera mu bintu bino kiba kizibu nnyo omuntu omutono okuvaayo. Etteeka lino kyeti balyetaagisa eryogera nti oprotecting otya omuntu. Ekyokubiri, mulina okukuba essimu era memba wamwe wa parliament, oba oli wa south, oba oli wa north, oba oli wa east, oba oli wa central. Tugenda kubaffe nga tukukebera, njagala obabuulira. Era gwe memba wa parliament oyina okufuna essimu z'abakulembeze, gwe w'omuzikiti, gwe w'ekkanisa, owa cultural association, kubira memba wa parliament ogenda gwe bw'onoogeza nekakutana okuwagira ekisiyaga etteeka n'oliremesa tetujja kuzaayo. Era ffe kati nyina ekitongole kinatandise bakita Family Police Center. Family Police Center nga yo eyamba. Ate ono njagala tukyuseemu, temumuteeka mbu anti-homo legislator. No, he's a family legislator. We are protecting the family. We are saying that a man marrying another man is zero. We are saying a woman marrying another woman can bring them for introduction, marching in the streets of Kampala. Mbu bana bali bebisiyaga nabo bayina marathon yaabwe batandika okuddukira wano. Tugamba no, even if South Africa is doing Sodom and homosexuality, not in Kampala, not in my Kampala, not in my Uganda. Nebo batutiisa nti atujja batta. Kati muganda wangu ono, honorable member of parliament, they are threatening him. They're giving harassing calls. He has had to change his phone numbers. His email address is being harassed. For us, they lie about you. Kati even in a take, this law that they are talking about, they are lying about it that we want to kill homosexuals in such and such. Yet it is aggravated homosexuality. So I'm asking you, don't say we meet you in the street. Honorable MP, we are behind you. No, you are too far. Come near us. Pastor Ssempa Genda Maso. Yes, let's go. You are behind you. You don't be too far. Come near. Pastor. Call your member of parliament. Tell him, Sebo, I need you. Nyabo, women MP, disability MP, movement MP, opposition MP. In fact, all of us are together on this thing. For us, we are going to be watching as the Family Police Center and religious leaders. We are together with the Archbishop Henry Lukolombi. We are together with the Catholic. We are together with the Muslims. We are together. Anyone who's daring to cross this line, we are going to make sure that you face the long arm of God's people at election time.
Now, waliwo ki website kyebataddewo abantu kubaweerereza abantu okusaba kwabwe nti etteeka bireme kuyita. Kati ebbaluwa eri ono sijja gisoma kubanga saagala ate etteeka lyono likwata promoting. Kati saagala asongere kunza. Naye ekiwandiiko bakiweereza badraftinze ebbaluwa naye nga batagetinze ambassador waffe Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, then ambassador Kamunanwire ne deputy we Sentongo. Bewaana nti okuva lwe batandise baakafunayo signatures 13. Now as we wind up, Honorable Bahati,
yes,
what finally do you have to tell these people? Can you assure viewers that America, as represented by mighty President Obama, is not going to declare sanctions here, which mean hunger and deprivation, when your bill goes through? I'll remind you that some years back, it was I think in 1994, President Museveni made a very, very strong statement about gays.
Yes.
And he didn't repeat it. We are told he got some either emails or phone calls or whatever, and he has toned down on that stance which he began with at that time. That is how powerful these people are.
No, President
so are we going to lose American money because of your bill?
No, our president has been consistent on this issue. Even on the National Prayer Breakfast, which was on the 8th of October, he really touched on this issue of homosexuality. It's a creeping evil. and we are fighting it, and we are not going to stop until we see a law in place that can protect a traditional family. We are about the values and the family that we cherish. A family that consists of a man and a woman, period. Yeah. A family of a man as a husband and a woman as a husband is not in our values. It's not, it has no place in our society, and that's what we are saying no to it. This law, as I said in the beginning, is already with the Committee of Presidential Affairs. We want to encourage members that when you are called upon to put in your views, please do put in your views. As Pastor Ssempa has said, we want your support, we want your prayers, we want you to fight this creeping evil, so that at the end of the day, when we look back 10 years from now, 100 years from now, we can say that the Parliament of Uganda, in the 8th Parliament, did something good for our children and for our society. That also, this Parliament started something that provided leadership in the world. The world needs now leadership on this issue of homosexuality. And Uganda, we are proud that Uganda is providing that leadership. Whether President Obama is supporting it or not, really, we should go on and have something good for the country.
Thank you very much, Honorable. For the person who has special information for the Family Protection...
Family Policy Center.
Family Policy Center, the number is 0772 641 028. 0772 641 028. You'll be getting directed to the pastor. Or you send an email to ssempa@gmail.com. Ssempa with double S. SSEMPAM @gmail.com.